morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Morning.
Thank you very much. Denver, thank you. I did not acknowledge your presence. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Biola Chilume, from the Ministry of ICT. Unfortunately, she's not feeling well today, but she to make sure that she comes to meet with you, since you are a strategic partner to us. Let me also acknowledge the presence of all ministry officials which are here. Our directors, I'm sure we've got a couple of them which are here. But of course, representing the PS, I was Director Mhlanga. Let me acknowledge you. Let me also acknowledge our honorable member who is here, Ambassador Chris Muchangwa. We acknowledge you and thank you very much for coming. Let me also acknowledge the Group Chief Commercial Officer of YASAT, Mr. Lineman Ali. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Elmi Assad, we have met a couple of times and had a lot of conversations, which has also brought about the fruition of this very important meeting. Our Deputy Ambassador, let me acknowledge you. Thank you very much for coming, and we will acknowledge your presence. Let me also acknowledge team from SATCOM. Thank you very much and well done for the strategic partnership that you have. And of course, the representative of YASAT here in Zimbabwe, let me also acknowledge you. Distinguished speakers, guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, let me acknowledge your presence to be here. It gives me great pleasure to be here at this auspicious event, which comes at an opportune time. We have come here to also be able to sign in an MOU together with YASAT on finding out how we can best be able to digitalize Zimbabwe. His Excellency, our President, Dr. Edi Mnangagwa, has been very clear. He has said we need to digitalize Zimbabwe. And for us to be able to do that, we need to also foster private-led development. And that is why you have seen us, we're very much forthcoming when it comes to private-led interventions, where you would come in to also be able to contribute towards the end goal of us achieving a digitalized Zimbabwe. Let me have a few quotes that I can bring about for us to be able to really unpack where we're coming from and where we need to go. Bill Gates said, changing the world, you can only be able to change it with technology. Barack Obama went on to say, the internet is not a luxury, but it is a necessity. Narendra Modi in India said, digital technology and internet are rapidly transforming the way we live and the way we work. As Zimbabwe, I'm here to tell you that the digital revolution is upon us, and we are not spared. We are supposed to make sure that we adopt unless we are going to catch a cold. And because of that, we are very much forthcoming to any initiatives that are going to shape the digital landscape of this country. Let me also hasten to say that we really believe that there are a lot of mechanisms that we need to put in place for us to be able to achieve a digitalized Zimbabwe. Our president has also said that we don't need to leave anyone in any place behind. I know you've come forth with initiatives that have got to do with telemedicine, that have got to do with e-learning, and a lot of other IoT solutions that you're bringing about. And all we are going to do as a ministry is to support and make sure that we embrace. We have got quite a number of reforms that we've put in place. I know I've spoken to you about the Digitalized Zimbabwe initiative that we're rolling across the whole country. And this Digitalized Zimbabwe is meant to make sure that we create the awareness about making sure that everyone is involved in this new digital order that we have. Artificial intelligence, what is it that we need to do? As much as we're coming up with a policy, but we're already in it. And we don't need to start saying we don't need to get involved in it. But all we need to do is for us to embrace so that at least we can be able to achieve a digitalized Zimbabwe. We need to build digital confidence in the people of Zimbabwe. we need also to make sure that we become objective about it. People need to have the requisite knowledge, and also they need to have the requisite infrastructure, and indeed the skills. So it is upon us as a ministry. Today, as I was coming here, I had a meeting that I had with some directors from our ministry, where I was very much pushing them to say, we really need to have more people that we train in digital skills. But as much as we can talk about digital skills, we also need to talk about the infrastructure. Where are we as a country? The last conversation that I had with you, I remember very well, with Yasat, we even talked about satellite technology. We were saying in Zimbabwe, that's where we are, we're embracing it. I also remember the last conversation I had with Ambassador Mchangwa. He was also speaking about that. And that means that in this room, we've got like-minded people who really want to see Zimbabwe get to where it's supposed to be. And we are not apologetic about it. This is where we need to go. We want you because of the interventions that you're going to bring to Zimbabwe, which we are going to support 250% if ever it exists. We are going to support any initiative that you are hoping to bring to Zimbabwe. And we believe that the use of IoT solutions, the use of artificial intelligence, is going to improve productivity in Zimbabwe. It's also going to make sure that we have an efficient government. An efficient government which provides great government services. And I believe this is where we're supposed to go. We need to also make sure that we promote ICT growth. We need to look at all the institutional frameworks that we need to put in place for us to be able to achieve this. And I remember very well, SATCOM, I spoke to you about this last week. We said, you are very knowledgeable. Whatever knowledge that you have, we want it to come to the ministry so that we are there to shape where we want to go. I really want to congratulate you for this great partnership. And this is exactly the trust that we have as government, whereby we believe that the private sector has to bring in all their thoughts into government so that we contribute towards national development. And on the same conversation that we had before we came here, I was speaking to the PS, where we are actually saying, looking at our key result areas, and we spoke about telemedicine, we spoke about e-learning. And because of that, I really want to tell you, I'm sure I spoke to you as well, about what we've already done as a country in terms of telemedicine. But we need to leapfrog, we need to make sure that at least we advance more, and we have got more advanced ways of us being able to make sure we deploy telemedicine in the country. And it's not only about that as well. Even for e-learning, I told you about the interactive boards. And then you went and you came to me and you said, we've got a great solution. So today I'm really waiting for that great solution that I'm sure after having this interaction, after you show us this great solution, we believe this is going to make Zimbabwe great. And I would really conclude by saying, I have spoken to the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, together with the Minister of Health, because of the solutions that you're going to bring forth here. For us, we believe we are there to also guide them technically. Well, now we're supposed to make sure that they also deploy ICT issues in their various ministries. But we have got a whole of government approach in our way, and we believe that whatever solution we're also going to come up with, we'll be able to also advise them to be able to take it on board. But above all, I really want to thank you, and I believe all the deliberations that we're going to make today are going to also assist us in getting us where we want to go. We believe that Zimbabwe should also be a digital hub here in Africa. And that can only be done if we're very much willing for us to make sure that we have this great change, which we believe is the digital order that is upon us. And indeed, thank you very much for inviting us to come to this event. And I believe our technical team is also here. There are a lot of interactions that you need to be able to have with them. And I'm sure we are going to have very fruitful deliberations. And I'm very positive we are going to come out to something. In our culture, we have got a saying which says, you don't know what has made the pig become fat as much as it is. You know it? It's our Shona or our African idiom that we use. Which means you don't know what will make Zimbabwe one of the greatest nations when we talk about the digital landscape. So I believe one of the solutions that is going to make sure that we achieve that. Indeed, I thank you.